As of this year, there are over 20 LEGO games based off licensed properties, so the chances are that by this point you know whether or not this formula is appealing to you. On a basic level, the core mechanics have always stayed relatively the same: jumping, climbing, building, punching, so much punching, and The Force Awakens is no different. So with that comes a very simple contemplation. If you've enjoyed previous LEGO games, you'll enjoy The Force Awakens. And if you enjoyed The Force Awakens, then you will enjoy The Force Awakens. As with any of the other previous LEGO licensed games, the gameplay is merely there to fuel the source material, and here it's as refined as it's ever been, so in that instance, The Force Awakens is a solid purchase. Now, for those of you who are on the fence about whether or not to pick this up, or if you're generally unfamiliar with how these games play, somehow, let's dig a little deeper. As you would expect, the game consists of scenes from The Force Awakens and a brief intro from Return of the Jedi, lovingly recreated with LEGO. You'll be switching between light single-button combat, punching, so much punching, and building structures in order to progress. There are a few gimmicks this time around that shake up the formula. Now, instead of simply holding a button to build a structure, you are given a choice of structures to build. The order in which you build these will allow you to progress, or find hidden items. Some even act as puzzles, requiring you to determine the appropriate order in which to build the structures to achieve the result. Additionally, there are now the blaster battles, which are essentially just third-person cover shooting segments, bizarrely. These sections, however, are not nearly refined enough. The shooting on its own terms lacks any real impact. It creates a jack-of-all-trades, master-of-none situation, though admittedly they do break up the gameplay, keeping things fresh as the different types of gameplay flow seamlessly from one to the other. This can also be said for the occasional moments where The Force Awakens attempts to create something of a cinematic feel to the gameplay. Little moments where the camera angles and controls have briefly changed in an attempt to make these moments more exciting. As with the blaster battles, I'm not sure this effect is wholly achieved. It feels more like an afterthought than anything else, but they certainly work to help diversify the gameplay at least. Even if they do require you to persistently hammer a single button to fill up a meter, as if that has ever been fun, absolutely definitely yes. As for the core of the gameplay, the controls are probably the best they've ever been in this series. The previous LEGO games suffered from somewhat floaty controls, disconnecting you from the environment and often causing you to miscalculate jumps. In The Force Awakens, however, they've been refined to a point where you feel far more grounded, jumps have more precision and weight, and rolling in a specific direction feels less like a crapshoot. Incidentally, as you would expect, you can control BB-8, which gives me enough reason to recommend this game, regardless. Overall though, the LEGO Force Awakens is, at least in my view, the best of the LEGO franchise series so far. Whilst its attempts at mixing up the formula aren't a through-and-through success, they at least keep the basic gameplay diverse enough to suppress any tediousness from the core mechanics. It's frequently funny, with plenty of sight gags working within the framework of each scene from the film, all recreated with care and enthusiasm. Like its movie counterpart, LEGO The Force Awakens uses its tried and true formula to focus less on wholly new concepts and focus more on valiant and fresh nuances which help elevate its conceptual foundation. So I recommend it.